Hey readers, it's Mr. Hoffman. So let's keep reading. As we read this next section, I want you all to be thinking, do I know what this is about? Do I know what's happening? So here's our mentor text, Beastly Tales. I'm going to pick up where Mike left off here at the second paragraph. In 1974, a teenager, Lakpa, lived in a Nepalese village high in the Himalayan mountains. Each day, she climbed partway up Mount Everest to graze the herd of yaks, a type of cattle. Lakpa saw few people on the steep mountain paths, only Buddhist monks who can choose to build their monasteries far from the town and cities lived this high up. Lakpa had heard tales of the Yeti, an ape-like beast said to live in the Himalayas, but the mountains stretched for thousands of miles. She never expected herself to see one. Many Nepalese people live on the slopes of the Himalayas, the highest in the world. Zoom in a little bit there. At 29,028 feet, Mount Everest is the world's highest mountain. It takes weeks to climb to the top. Like these people, Lakpa's family were Sherpas, people who first came from eastern Tibet to Nepal around 400 years ago. So, now that we read that, think about the text. Check in with yourself. Are you getting it? Is there anything that's confusing? If there's something that is confusing to you, you need to do something. Talk to your partner about what you could do to clear up your confusion. I'm going to pause the video there. So hopefully you and your partners talked about the steps that you can do to clear up confusion. So the things that I would do if I was confused at any time of reading this section, the first thing I would stop and restudy that page. So I'm going to restudy that page. I'm going to think to myself, what was confusing about this page? Where was it confusing? Did I miss an important detail? When I look at this page, I was confused. I thought at first that we were talking about Lapka's journey to Mount Everest and climbing up the mountains. Because it said each day she climbs part way up Mount Everest to graze a herd of yaks and a type of cattle. So I didn't really think that they really mentioned a lot about Yeti and anything about her seeing Yeti. So I'm going to then think about what I read. So what are they saying in this text? We just said that. They were saying a lot about Lapka and how she climbs Mount Everest every day with her yaks to let them graze, and that she's Nepali she's Nepalese, she's from Nepal, and they talk about how she does that and who she was. But I'm thinking specifically, what did they say in here about Yeti? Because when you look and study the page and think about it, the subtitle is Yeti. So they really want us to understand something about the Yeti, whatever that is. So the last step in clearing up your confusion is to talk about what you read. So I stopped and I thought, and I studied the page, and I thought about the page, and what I thought, my conception of it was mostly about Lapka and her life, and how she climbs Mount Everest to feed her yaks. Then we talk about it. I said, I noticed this. Do you hear the language? I said, I noticed these things. I wonder. And what I'm wondering is, what does this information have anything to do with Yeti? So I'm going to go back and reread it to clarify. Even the police felt afraid when they saw footprints of the beast that attacked Lapka Dolma. That is a key detail that I did not originally read. I skipped it over. She was attacked by Yeti. Wow. So maybe that's how she saw the Yeti, because she obviously reported it to the police. And then the police were afraid and they saw the footprints, so it sounds like there might have been proof of this. That's why they talked about her whole journey through the Himalaya mountains and who she was over here and how she heard tales of the Yeti. So that one little detail confused me, caused me to be confused because I didn't read it and I didn't realize that all of this information in this paragraph where they talk about who she is and what she does and how she saw the Yeti and how she knew what the Yeti was. So all of these paragraphs really just kind of support that idea there, and I missed that main idea. So it's very easy to be confused. In this situation, you may have not been confused like me. Today, what I'd like you to do is really think to yourself, pretend you won't be confused. What would you do then? Say someone else in the class was confused. What tip would you give to them? So, everyone, you're going to go off for a few minutes to enjoy your new nonfiction books. Remember that all readers have times when they are confused, and every reader has ways to get back on track. It's really important to notice when you are confused and do something about it. You might reread and then ask yourself, who or what is this about? You may also use any of the host of strategies that we've talked about in the last couple of weeks. And those strategies for review include, first, reading books that are just right for you, that aren't too hard, that are of your interest, that you can understand most of the words. Having the mindset to be fascinated. Wow, I never knew. That's weird. Why? Read intensely. Read intensely. Talk about what you notice and what you are learning. And then the last thing is, when you scan that page and you make those predictions of what you're going to learn, afterwards, think, was I accurate in my thinking? Or was this about something different? All right, readers, off you go. Good luck.